everyone, and welcome back to another speed build on a community lot for the custom world Stoneridge Valley. If you're enjoying the content that is on my channel, please go ahead and hit the like button. That helps show YouTube that you do enjoy this content and will help try to get the video out to others to view. And of course, go ahead and make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, that way you're notified of more speed builds or any kind of videos that I were to post. Currently, the schedule is the speed builds are done on Fridays, but that is only if I have time to create the content and get the video edited. So hitting that bell will help notify you when a video is uploaded, just in case I were to not be able to upload every Friday. So today in this video, what we are working on is going to be the town hall for the custom world that I have created, the Stoneridge Valley. So basically I'm just taking a rabbit hole that is already in the game. I want to say this one came from Dragon Valley, I believe. I want to say that's where majority of the rabbit holes are probably going to come from. I think is going to be Dragon Valley, because the rabbit holes for Monte Vista, Monte Vista is the world. Even though they look kind of on the older side, they have like red clay tiles, and I can't really create anything that will look good with those types of tiles. I've already tried experimenting with a few of those rabbit holes, and I just can't get the roofing to look, to match or to look good. While with the Dragon Valley ones, even though they're still different, they seem to be a little bit more, there's a little bit more give on what I can put with them and get to look good. So even though I can't get that exact texture or the exact coloring on the roofing or even the wallpapers for the exterior, I can still get pretty close to where it still looks pretty good. So I think most of the rabbit holes are probably going to be from that pack. So definitely make sure that you have that pack for when you go ahead and download this world. And again, the other ones that I am using that you're probably going to want to have, that's kind of required, is going to be Late Night. I believe that's the world or the expansion pack that has Bridgeport, I believe. That one is going to have, I think what I've used for the most part out of that would be the subway stations. I'm not sure I'm really using anything else from the pack, but that'll probably be a good idea to have that one. Otherwise, the subway stations won't be there. I guess if you're not using, if you're going to have cars in the world, I guess it's not really that big of a deal. But if you happen to give the try where there's no cars in the world, then it's going to make it really difficult for your Sims to get from the countryside area of the world to the downtown area, and that's kind of where the subway stations are going to help out. But anyway, so that is what we're working on today. None of these community lots as of right now are going to be available for download. They will be pretty much strictly for the world, but like I've said in a previous video, once you download the world, you can go ahead and save that lot if you would want into your library, and then you can move that lot to another world if you were so to choose. So it's not that it's not possible for you to get the lot. I'm just not going to have it up for individual downloads. So but anyway, I'm just trying to do kind of like what I did with the hospital. I'm trying to make, instead of having just the rabbit hole just kind of plop down with some scenery, I'm just trying to make them a little bit unique, a little bit different, to kind of give them a little bit more character. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Plus, it kind of helps incorporate like the roofing texture, since that is a little bit different, and then of course the wallpapers are going to be a little bit different. So that just kind of helps incorporate those into the building to try to help them look, a little bit nicer. So I do think this one turns out really neat. I like the way the town hall ended up turning out. I'm pretty happy with this one. So you'll kind of see how, how it comes together. I don't put any furniture or anything inside. In fact, I don't think I even have it possible for the Sims to get into the extra building portions. There's not really a reason to have the subway station over here, so I didn't incorporate it. The hospital is just up on top of the hill behind it. You might even get some glimpse of it in the video. So the subway station really isn't all that far, and that's kind of why I put that one there in the hospital, because it is pretty centralized, and figured that way I didn't have to try to put too many subway stations in the downtown area, and your Sims hopefully will do a lot of the walking, or maybe even get their bike out and go ride their bike. That's kind of what I figured they'd probably do. A lot of is riding their bikes and walking. And if you have the pets expansion pack, you can go ahead and you could have your horse, and you could ride your horse into town. I do plan on having some lots that I am going to create that's not going to come with the world, that you can download later. And then ones are going to have more packs involved, and it's going to have, you know, like pets and stuff like that. I do plan on making some that have like a horse, like a barn, a stable, you know, things like that. So I am pretty excited about getting into working on some of those, but right now I'm just trying to get the lots that need to come with the world, those ones that are strictly for the world only, and get those, you know, done and into place. That way when you download, you have everything that your sim needs, hopefully for the most part, to start the town. I don't know how many of the lots, like the community lots, that I'm going to do first before the world is complete. I'm trying to get, for the most part, the main one. So like I got the hospital, this is the town hall. I am currently now working on another area in the town that's going to have like restaurants, and I think there's a bookstore, I think, in it. I'm still working on that one. That one's kind of a bigger project. That one's probably going to take me a little bit longer to get that one out. But that one is going to have a little bit more things for the Sims to do. And then I want to get the school done. So I think we need to have the school. I'm trying to think of some of the other community lots that I probably should see about trying to have incorporated in the world. That would be like a necessity, I guess you could say. Because I think some of the other community lots, I think I'm going to have them for separate downloads. That way you can still download them and put them in your game. That will still go with the world. But I want to be able to use other packs. So I don't want to restrict those to just these packs like what I'm doing here. There's not a lot of items for me to choose from. And I'm not used to restricting myself like I am. So I would like to try to have some of the community lots with more items, and maybe even get some horse stables and stuff throughout the town as well. That way if your Sims have a horse, they can ride them in, and they can put their horse somewhere while they're out shopping and things like that. So that's kind of my plan. Currently I do have a beta version of the world. It is up for download, but currently it is not up for public release. I do have a Patreon that I had been asked years ago by someone if I could create a Patreon page, because they just wanted to, donate and help support, my mods and my channel. So that was really the only reason why I put it up there. But I thought, I do have others that do, for the early downloads and sneak peeks. So I thought I would go ahead and post the beta version of this world for the early release. So if you want to go ahead and get the beta version now, it is available on my Patreon page. You just have to subscribe. I believe I have it set for any dollar amount. So even if you choose just to do $1, that will give you access to the beta version. So just go ahead and go to my Patreon page and you'll be able to find it there. In a couple of weeks though, it will be available for download on my Patreon page for everyone. It'll be a public release, so that will be coming in a couple weeks. We just have a few more builds. We got this one, and then there is a residential house that I have created for the beta version. Once that one is released on YouTube, then the world will also be released for public download at that time. So keep your eyes open for when that is available, and I will of course announce it as well when that is available for download. That is free to download, I should say, because it is technically available to download now. It just is not considered free. So that'll be in a couple weeks yet. So again, just kind of tune into my YouTube page for that announcement, or even just keep checking back on my Patreon page until it's released, you know, for the public. So here again, just doing another one of those like lattice types of looks. I'm probably going to do this throughout the world, just to help incorporate the look throughout. So again, there isn't a whole lot. I mean, the Sims will be able to go in and do everything that they normally do for the town hall, but there isn't going to be anything in the extra like building areas. Like I just decided not to really do anything with it, mostly because when you take the walls down, it really doesn't look, I mean, it doesn't look as finely polished, I guess you could say, on the inside. So I ended up putting like blinds and stuff like that on the inside to try to help cover the looks of it indoors. But again, I'm not really decorating the inside. If you want to decorate the inside and you want to put in a door so the Sims can go in there, go right ahead, that's fine. I'm just choosing not to. What I'm doing here is just strictly for looks, to try to give, you know, the lot a little bit more character and to kind of bring it more into the, you know, the look that I want the town to look like. So I'm just trying to get, you know, bringing in some of this wisteria bush or plant. It's some kind of vine thing. I thought that would look kind of nice to bring that in. And try to decorate the side of the building with that. Since the hospital had some vines on it and I put some sunflowers on that one, I thought we would do something over here. So I found this table and I really liked the table, but I discovered with play testing, because I wanted to make sure that all the chairs and everything worked, that apparently it's not actually a table. I guess I never knew that this wasn't a table, but I kind of found it kind of odd that the chairs and stuff, they wouldn't automatically snap to the tables, which I thought was kind of odd. I did not realize, you can see I'm kind of moving the chair around and it's not snapping. And it did not occur to me at that time that apparently these tables really aren't tables. So they must just be maybe some type of side table, or maybe I had the wrong chairs with it. I have no idea. So I ended up finding out during play testing that most of those chairs didn't work. For some reason the game thinks there's something blocking them chairs, and turns out it's that stupid table. The table was the problem. So I had to go back in. I did a lot of play testing with it to try to get those chairs and the tables and everything to work. Nothing was working. So I end up taking those out. So when you download the world, the tables, the chairs, that's going to be different. I don't have that recorded. I'm pretty sure I didn't record me changing that stuff. So those will be different. And I think that's about it. It's been a while since I built this one. I actually have the builds kind of in advance, which is good, because as I get to some of the bigger builds like this community lot that I'm working on now, it's going to take me longer, and I'm trying to keep up and being ahead of things so I can try to keep the builds coming on the Fridays. But I have this feeling I'm going to start slowing down and the uploads are going to start to slow down. So unfortunately, it's been probably 3 or 4 weeks since I've built this community lot here. And I'm just now getting around to doing the voiceover for it, and I don't remember everything that I did, so unfortunately. So I am putting in these blinds here on the inside to try to help block kind of the view of the pedestrians on the outside. That way when you're moving around in the world and you're looking around, you don't really see the ugly inside the building, since I'm not really doing anything with it. So I'm just trying to, cover and block them. I don't want to have to use all windows that have these shutters that are closed to block any view in, because I really don't like, I don't mind those windows, and they come in handy when you're doing like turrets and some of the dormers and stuff like that. They come in handy for for that type of architecture, but I don't want them all over. Like I don't want the whole entire build to have a whole bunch of those windows with the closed shutters, and this is one of the builds kind of like that. I didn't want, you know, to have all the closed shutters like I did in the hospital. The hospital has those, which it works on that build, but like in this build I didn't want to have to use those. So I used windows that I wanted, but I put the blinds in hopes that will help kind of cover the ugly. So like here's going to be kind of an area that kind of doesn't create it to look very nice inside. I put that ball rush, which looks really big when you're actually using it. Like when I was doing the world, creating the world and making that, it didn't appear that big, but next to the actual buildings, yeah, it's a little bit bigger than what you would think it is. So, but I really like it. I wanted to incorporate it even in this build here. And unfortunately, it does go through the building and into the part that I created. So, and that's another reason why I chose not to really decorate the inside. I had thought about it. I thought about putting walls in there to try to help maybe block, you know, where that ball rush was and some of the rocks that are right there. But it just, there wasn't enough space to do it. It didn't look right. So I ended up not doing it. And so, yeah, the shutters are just going to have to, or not the shutters, but the blinds are just going to have to work. So hopefully. I still think it looks pretty good. I did at least do the flooring and the walls. That way it, you know, it's not just blank and empty in there. It does have a little bit of texture, a little bit of color inside. So yeah, but here is just going to be kind of like the outdoor garbage can. I figured we probably should have a few of these somewhere in the world for your Sims to dumpster dive. They'll probably get, depending on what packs you have, it's hard to say what they might get in there. And when they are dumpster diving, they might get a big flat screen TV, something that they wouldn't have had back in the horse and, you know, carriage days and stuff like that. But you know, it is, however, you know, it is what it is. However you want to play, whatever packs that you have, that's okay. I don't mind. I just was wanting a world that kind of simulated this type of gameplay and thought it would be fun. So that's kind of why I was creating it. But it doesn't mean every time I play in the world that it will always be without cars, you know, and stuff like that, and electronics. So here we are going into the screenshots of the town hall. I hope you're enjoying this content. I hope you like this build, and maybe it'll even show you a few new techniques and things that you can maybe do yourself. If you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them below. I am open to anything, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.